So just quickly about myself, my name is Armin Reiter, I am CEO at Cryptix, and I have a technical background, IT security and software development, and Cryptix is a venture building company. We are based in Switzerland, in Zug, and we already built various blockchain products and ventures, and we regularly face the issue that the customers, they come to us and they have an idea, they want to build something, and the question is, which blockchain do you choose? Because there are so many out there, and some just say, okay, just take Ethereum, and that's it. Others go there and say, yeah, I personally like, I don't know, whatever blockchain, so let's go for that one. But that's not really a good approach. So we do it a bit differently, and that's what I will talk about today. Just quickly about Cryptix. We are about 60 people. We already created multiple ventures. The last ones are Rock Solid Estate, which is real estate tokenization. We have Akito, which is a MiFID II broker in Slovenia, and the latest one is Cryptix Security, where we, for example, do cryptocurrency security standard audits. So this is a standard that exists already for a while, and it gets traction now, and there are 3 levels. So if you are, for example, an exchange, then you can be audited for the level 3. If you are just using crypto, for example, you have a shop, then you can get audited at level 1. And as said, so we are auditors, so if you're interested in that, then feel free to contact me. Here are some of the ventures that I mentioned. So Rock Solid Estate is the real estate tokenization. Akito is the MiFID II broker, where we place securities. Then we have eCredits, which is a layer 1 blockchain with an SCE, so it's a decentrally governed organization. And BlockTrade is a cryptocurrency exchange that we built, and which is also running in Luxembourg. Because we have all those ventures, we also have a lot of services that we provide, because if you build up such solutions, you need marketing, you need legal services, you need business development, and we are basically a one-stop shop for all these services. So let's now come to the topic of today, so how to find the right blockchain solution for your use case. And the first question you should always ask yourself is if you really need a blockchain, because in most of the cases you don't need it. And this answer here is based on a paper published in 2017, where you go through this chart, you ask yourself a few questions, and as you can see, in many cases the result is you shouldn't use blockchain. But if you know that blockchain is the right tool for you, the right platform, then you have a huge range of chains. And then it's the question, how do you find the right one for your case? And there are a few design considerations that you should think about and define for yourself. And the first thing is we all know about the blockchain trilemma, which says that you can have some of these properties, but you can't have everything. So if you have a huge decentralization and a great security, then scalability is usually not that good. So if you build a solution, think about what is important for you. Just as an example, if you build a payment solution, then scalability is an important thing for you, because you want to have lots of transactions there. If you, for example, bring PGP certificates on the blockchain, or you have a digitalized NFT, then scalability is not that important. Then probably decentralization has a much higher value for you. So these 3 are the first thing you should think about, and then we have a list of a lot of other design considerations. So, for example, here, if we look at the general properties, we have privacy. So if you are, for example, dealing with health data, then privacy is a huge topic. Also, if you think about Monero, Monero has privacy built in, and maybe you need this for whatever case. Another topic here is governance, public availability, and censorship resistance. So I talked about this PGP certificate, and their censorship resistance is very important. And that's why decentralization is very important. And that will influence the decision which blockchain you will choose. Then we have some general blockchain properties, which is like block time, block size, time to finality. And that in the end somehow tells you how much transaction per second you have. As I said, in some cases that's very important. For example, for a payment solution, you need a small block time because you need to get the confirmations quite fast. In other cases, it doesn't matter that much. So in other cases, it's fine if the users wait half an hour until everything is settled. What you should also think about is if you really want to issue your own cryptocurrency. So we can see many great use cases out there, and they build their own blockchain. And while the use case is great, with the own blockchain, you have your own cryptocurrency. And the own cryptocurrency is something that you need to list, you need to make sure that it's legally fine, you need to promote it, and so on. And the question is if you really need that for your use case. Then by sure, cost and effort is always a topic. There is always an easy solution and an expensive one. And then the ecosystem is another huge topic. So if you choose a blockchain that is a very special one, then you probably don't have all the tools available. You don't have all the communities. So if you have issues, you probably don't find that much information on the internet. Once you've thought about all those things and you have an idea how it could look like, then the next question is, how are we going to implement this and what implementation options do we have in place? And the first one here is you can build your own blockchain. So that's a very interesting and cool approach. It's technically very, very interesting and also challenging, but it also means a lot of cost, a lot of effort to build it, and also to especially secure it. And what you should also take into account here is if you have your special protocol and you then want to list your coin on an exchange, then the exchange listing will take much longer because they have to implement your blockchain, they need to run a node, they need to check how it works, they need to make sure that it is really secure. The second option is that you have your own blockchain based on an existing technology. So you take, for example, Ethereum, or you take Solana, or whatever else, you take the source code and you start your own blockchain. So the benefit here is that you can adapt it. So you can change the source code, adapt it to your use case, but you want to get the updates of the main chain where you depend on, and that also creates some effort. The third option is that you use an existing chain, and I split it up here into a non-smart contract-based way and a smart contract-based way. Why? Because there are blockchains like Stellar where you can issue assets, tokens, so that's all built in. You also have a decentralized exchange built in, and therefore you don't need to take care about security or such things, and it's quite fast. By sure, the downside of that is that it's quite limited. So if you need some functionality which is not provided by the chain, then you have an issue. Then you need to find a workaround or a different solution. The fourth option is the smart contract-based way. So we're all aware of smart contracts. We know that they are quite flexible. But if you go with a smart contract, for example, on Ethereum, then you also need to think about what are the side effects of that. So Ethereum, for example, sometimes suffer from very high gas fees. And if you, for example, sell an NFT or whatever, and you do it at a specific point in time, and at this point in time, there is a high load on the network and the gas price goes up, then this will also probably influence your business and what you have to pay for the gas. And the fifth option here, which somehow also helps to tackle gas issues, is to go for a second layer solution or a side chain or a parachain, or however all those things are called. So, for example, Cosmos or Polkadot have such things. We are aware of the Lightning Network from Bitcoin, and by sure you can also build your own second layer, or you can take an existing one. And if you take an existing one, then again, you go back to the design considerations and think about it. And I mean, also a sidechain is in the end a blockchain, so you again need to think about, okay, is this now really the right chain which will solve my issue? So quickly summarizing, the first thing is think about your use case, think about the requirements you have, and think about the properties that you have. And the slide that I showed you before is quite a good or useful thing, because it contains a lot of properties like the governance or the privacy or the community, which is sometimes forgotten but which is very important. Once you defined all of that and you know your use case and so on, then the design considerations, you did all of that, then you can check the different implementation options and go through them. And you will probably need to reiterate it multiple times. But then you will, for example, decide to go with your own blockchain using an existing technology. And then the next step is to research which one exactly you do. So, yeah, that's it in short. Thanks very much for your attention. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about this topic, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here today and tomorrow, or you can also contact me via one of these channels. Thank you.
Thank you also from the team. Was very nice talk. Does anyone have a question about the topic here? Because I think it's a really good topic, and you can talk for ages about it. If there's no question, then I think we can start with the next talk. Also dann würden wir einfach mit dem nächsten Talk weitermachen. Ich möchte mich nochmal bei Herrn Armin Reiter bedanken. Vielen Dank, nochmal Applaus.
Dankeschön.